Okay, so I thought I would kind of discuss the concept, or if you want to say the word, but it's about disciple. And see, we don't even spell it how we say it. And so what does that really mean? So in many different religions, a disciple means a follower. So that's some of the Eastern religions and some of the Western ones. So a disciple would be a follower of that person that you're following, right? Whether it's Christ or Buddha or Muhammad or any of some of those other. I know that I'm missing some, but they are a disciple of that particular person who is either the creator of the religion or the prophet or the one that people are most known for. So when you do follower, you would do, the one your left hand is in front. And because it's not going to do any action, right? So the hand you do not write with is in front, and it's your open A hand shape. And the other is going to be in the exact same position because these are your people, so to speak. So the person on your non-dominant hand is in front, and the one the one you write with, your dominant hand, is behind, and it's going to follow. And this is to chase after, or you can be a follower, you're just following behind them, but a disciple, a follower. Another way that word is used is they're a disciple or an apprentice, right? It's going to be the same kind of concept. They are usually in training, or they are a student. You can be a disciple of, Rembrandt or one of those famous people, a master at whatever they're doing. So in that case, someone who is learning from, but following them, right? They're following them, but they're learning from them and doing it. So you can have, and you could say that's in a religious sense too. And so you can still play around with the same signs because it's the concept that you're trying to really portray. And so that could be a student of. So a student, we've already done this one, but it's a learner. It's you take this information here. Let's just say it's a book or a piece of paper, and you're taking all this information and you're putting it into your head, and then you have to do your person. So a student. So a learner, right? A student, a learner. So you could say that I'm a student of, and you could name that person who is famous. And even it can be a religious person as well. So you can be a disciple of them. You're a student of. You're trying to become like them. Another way that same concept is used is when we say being an apprentice. Because when you're an apprentice, you're a student of that master. Let's just say welding, like an ancient or a blacksmith. Or sometimes, in Europe they would send their children, and even in America they would send their children to work with a master. They were an apprentice of that person. It's usually someone who's a master, or they're an apprentice of whatever job. And now we use unions, but you're an apprentice of, you're a student of. So you still use student in that case. I don't know that I would say a follower, but you could say follower. But an apprentice, I would almost use that in the sense that we used to have an internship. We don't go and live with that person, but you are doing the job. So internship is, I would say, used as an apprentice, even though you're a student of. And you could say they were a student of if you're talking about something that's, really far back, like maybe an artist or some type of a job, of career. That's what I was trying to find, the career. But so an apprentice could be like an internship. Today we would use that sign. So that would be an I for internship. The left hand does nothing, it's an internship. And let's look at this. See, business, worker, or working, business, busy, internship. So it's all kind of the same thing about working. But if you are doing an apprenticeship or an internship, you can still be, I'm a student, but you're doing the work. So that's why we use internship, because it's like business, right? It's like work. So internship, a student of, an apprentice, a disciple even if you want to, and then a follower. You could do follow, but I don't know that's really like, oh, I'm following them, I gotta catch up with them, right? I'm catching up with them. But you're following them, you're learning from them. So a disciple, a student, or an internship. But those would cover a disciple, and I'm an apprentice, or I'm doing an internship. And so it all encompasses that kind of same concept, but we do have different signs for it because we want to make it clear, what are we doing? I'm following in their footsteps. I want to do what they're doing. I want to become like them. So that's usually a disciple. An apprentice would probably, I'm learning from them, but I'm going to do my own style. When you're an apprentice, then you are doing the same type of work they're doing. You're kind of their helper. You're their intern, right? You're doing the work that they're doing, how they want it done, because you are indeed the student. But later, you do your own thing. You kind of get your own style when you're older, and you finish your apprenticeship. You may stay in that same style. People even did that in the furniture business, making handmade furniture. You're an apprentice, you're a student, but then you become, you do your own thing when you're older and on your own. So a student would be doing in our internship, I have to do it exactly like them because that's what I'm doing. I'm learning, I'm working, I'm doing it after them. They're showing me how. They've got a project they're doing, and I'm going to be doing it just like them. And then when I learn the ropes, then I'm going to do it on my own. So that's kind of the difference. Follower, disciple, I'm going to become like them. A student, I'm learning from them. I'm going to be doing it on my own. An internship has the same context of a student. An internship, I'm working, I'm doing the work, but like my boss or that person that I'm, studying under, and I'm going to eventually do it on my own and have my own way of doing it. So I kind of wanted just to clear it up because disciple is used not only in a religious sense, but it's also used in the work world, or it was. And so some people might be talking about that, I was a disciple of, and you're going, well, that's not a religious figure. And so that's what they're meaning. I'm going to become like them. I want to become like Rembrandt or Matisse or whatever. Or I want to become like this master welder or this master architect or whatever, whatever, you may want to choose that field. So just kind of keep those three different ones in mind. Follower, a disciple, a student, I'm learning from them. An internship, I'm doing that work like them. Anyway, practice it, use them in sentences, and I'll see you later. Bye.